Have you ever wondered how the Philippines came to be the vibrant, diverse nation it is today? Our story begins in the pre-colonial era, a time when the archipelago was a tapestry of indigenous cultures, each with their own unique ways of life. From the seafaring Visayans and their balangays to the highland tribes of Luzon, their stories, their traditions, their wisdom were the heartbeats of the islands. This era set the stage for dramatic changes that were to come. In the 16th century, the course of Philippine history changed forever. The arrival of Spanish explorers, led by the ambitious Ferdinand Magellan in 1521, marked the beginning of a new chapter in the annals of the Philippines. Magellan, seeking a western route to the Spice Islands, landed on the shores of Homonhon Island, marking the first European contact with the archipelago. Yet, it wasn't until Miguel López de Legazpi, another Spanish explorer, that the first permanent Spanish settlement was established in 1565. This sparked the onset of Spanish colonial rule, a period that would see the Philippines transformed on numerous levels. The Spanish introduced their language, customs, and religion, significantly shaping the society, culture, and religious beliefs of the Filipino people. The influence of Spain's Catholic faith was particularly profound. As the Spaniards built churches and missions across the archipelago, Christianity quickly took root. It spread throughout the land, replacing or blending with indigenous beliefs. Today, the Philippines is the only predominantly Christian nation in Asia, a testament to the enduring legacy of Spanish rule. Beyond religion, the Spanish also introduced a new form of governance, implementing a centralized system of administration that brought about a shift from the loosely organized barangays of pre-colonial times. This system allowed the Spanish to exert control and consolidate their power over the diverse ethnic groups scattered across the islands. Yet, this period was not without its challenges. As the Spanish imposed their rule, they faced resistance from various indigenous groups. The resilience of the Filipino people, their determination to preserve their ways of life, and their struggle for autonomy would fuel future movements for independence. This period of Spanish rule would last for over 300 years, but not without resistance. The echoes of this era continue to resonate in the Philippines today, shaping the nation's identity and hinting at the strength and resilience that would define the Filipino people in the centuries to come. By the 19th century, a desire for freedom began to stir in the hearts of the Filipino people. This desire was fueled by the injustices they suffered under Spanish rule, leading to the birth of the Philippine Revolution. The flame of rebellion was ignited by the propaganda movement, a group of intellectuals who sought to expose the ills of Spanish administration. Among them was José Rizal, a doctor, novelist, and scientist. Rizal's novels, Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, were scathing indictments of the friars and the government, and they played a crucial role in awakening the national consciousness. Simultaneously, another hero emerged from the masses, Andrés Bonifacio. He was a warehouseman and clerk from Tondo, Manila, who became the father of the Philippine Revolution. Bonifacio founded the Katipunan, a secret society dedicated to the overthrow of Spanish rule. He pioneered a different approach from Rizal, believing in direct action rather than peaceful reform. The Katipunan's discovery in 1896 propelled the country into open revolt. Although lacking formal military training, the Katipuneros, as the members were known, fought valiantly. Their bravery was symbolic of a people's burning desire for freedom. Sadly, internal strife within the revolutionaries led to the tragic execution of Bonifacio. Yet, his death did not extinguish the fire of revolution. Under the leadership of General Emilio Aguinaldo, the revolution continued. On June 12, 1898, Aguinaldo declared Philippine independence from Spain, raising the Philippine flag at Kawit, Cavite for the first time. However, the struggle was far from over. The Treaty of Paris, signed in December 1898, ended the Spanish-American War, and Spain ceded the Philippines to the United States. The Filipino people found themselves trading one colonial master for another. The fight for independence was a turning point in Philippine history, but the struggle was far from over. The seeds of nationalism planted by Rizal, Bonifacio, and the countless heroes of the revolution continued to grow, setting the stage for the challenges that lay ahead. In the aftermath of the Spanish-American War, the Philippines found itself under a new colonial power. As the 19th century rolled into the 20th, the Philippines transitioned from Spanish to American rule. This period, often referred to as the American colonial period, was marked by significant changes and challenges. The American administration aimed to transform the Philippines into a showcase of democracy in the Far East. They introduced a new system of education, teaching English as the medium of instruction. This opened up opportunities for Filipinos to learn about Western science, philosophy, and culture. However, it also led to a cultural shift, with American values and lifestyle influencing Filipino society. The Americans also established a civil government, which included a bicameral legislature with Filipinos occupying seats. This fostered a sense of political participation, and many Filipinos began to aspire for self-governance. Nonetheless, the reins of power were still firmly in American hands. Economically, the Philippines underwent modernization. Infrastructure projects were undertaken, roads were built, public health improved, and the agricultural sector was expanded. Yet, American economic policies also created dependencies, with the Philippines serving largely as a source of raw materials and a market for American goods. The American colonial period was not without resistance. There were several uprisings, most notably the Philippine-American War, a conflict that lasted for more than 2 years and resulted in a heavy loss of life. Despite the challenges, the American era also had its bright spots. It laid the groundwork for a democratic system of governance and fostered a sense of Filipino nationalism. It helped shape the Philippines, preparing it for the eventual transition to independence. The American era brought about significant changes, but the Philippines was soon to face another challenge. As the world plunged into the Second Global War, the Philippines found itself once again at the crossroads of history, a story we'll explore in the next scene. As World War II engulfed the globe, the Philippines faced a dark period under Japanese occupation. In the early 40s, the archipelago was thrust into the throes of war. The Japanese forces arrived, bringing with them a harsh and oppressive rule. Life during these years was marked by scarcity, fear, and uncertainty. But amidst the darkness, the resilience of the Filipino people shone through. They faced each day with courage and determination, their spirit unyielding to the adversities of war. Ordinary citizens became extraordinary heroes, risking their lives to resist the occupiers. The guerrilla movement formed a significant part of this resistance, with Filipinos from all walks of life coming together to fight for their homeland. Women, too, played crucial roles. They served as nurses, spies, and even soldiers. Their contribution to the resistance was as vital as it was heroic. These years were a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Filipino people, their capacity to endure, and their unflagging hope for a brighter future. But the occupation was not to last. The return of the Allied forces in the latter part of the war marked the beginning of the end for the Japanese rule. The battle for liberation was fierce, leaving the capital city Manila in ruins, but ultimately the Philippines was freed from the clutches of the Japanese Empire. Despite the trials of war, the spirit of the Filipino people remained unbroken. Their resilience during these testing times is a testament to the enduring strength of this nation. In the aftermath of World War II, the Philippines emerged as a sovereign nation. The archipelago, having been through centuries of colonial rule, took its first steps as an independent entity in the summer of 1946. This was a pivotal moment in its history, marking the birth of the modern Philippines. The first few decades of independence were marked by a whirlwind of transformation. The country grappled with post-war reconstruction, economic development, and the establishment of democratic institutions. Yet, the road to progress was not without its bumps. The country faced a series of political and economic crises, including the infamous martial law period under President Ferdinand Marcos. Despite these challenges, the resilient Filipino spirit never wavered. The People Power Revolution in 1986, a peaceful display of civil resistance, led to the restoration of democracy and the ousting of Marcos. This revolution served as a beacon of hope and a testament to the power of the people. The Philippines, over the years, has seen its share of dynamic leaders, from Corazon Aquino, the first female president in Asia, to her son, Benigno Aquino III, who championed the Daang Matuwid, or straight path policy. Each leader, with their distinct style and vision, has contributed to the narrative of the modern Philippines. Today, the Philippines is a vibrant blend of its past and present. It's a nation that proudly carries the hallmarks of its history, from its Spanish-influenced language and architecture to its American-inspired education system and democratic ideals. Amidst the bustling cityscapes, the echoes of its indigenous roots can still be heard, reminding us of the rich tapestry that forms the Filipino identity. In the world stage, the Philippines continues to make strides, contributing to global discourse on issues such as climate change, human rights, and migration. It's a nation that has learned to draw strength from adversity, embodying the resilience and spirit of its people. The history of the Philippines is a testament to the resilience and spirit of its people, shaping the nation we see today.